payé la tête qui mêlait. Connaître comme mettre là pour le protéger mieux. Chaque fois me lever tard, moi me garder seul là, me dit bon Dieu béni. Non lui même moi que la foi moi senti grâce lui envahit. Et après parler moins mal, ça fait me faire plus fort. Yo moi c'est pour me pour ça pour mon capable plus record. Yo parle, mais no boudo yo. Pas que ma foot quitte yo parle, moi qu'on juda yo. Moi connais bien parler mal, c'est là pour yo. Pour si da yo cap supporter, yo gros coup de chapeau. Yo connais moi bon, yo connais moi fort, yo connais sous chaque cac, moi foot met ton record. Yo connais moi red, yo connais moi swag, sous tête toute map speed lyric comme décor. Comme si moi m'a fait speed, bah me retenir deuxième verse là.
Hello there. I know it's been a minute since y'all have seen me with another exciting video. Well, today, this video here is a recap on an old video I did about ancestral altars. Today, I look forward to recapping on that video and trying to explain the message in a better way. So, I'm making reference to the video Ancestral Altars. Again, the first video was half and half in regards to how people felt. There's mixed views about it as well. So I'm going to touch on ancestral altars. Well, the first video I made was about the dangers of setting up ancestral altars without understanding. Now, when it comes to ancestral altars, a person has to understand that each spirit is different. So the fact that each spirit is different, each ritual has to be according to what that spirit desires. And that, for those that are into Santeria, you see that each Orisha has its own ritual. And when it comes down to the colors of the candles, they're different. They say Yemoya is blue, Shango is red and white, Obatala is white, Ogun is green and black. In Haitian voodoo, Ogu is red, Ogu Ferrai, Ogu Saint-Jacques, red, Ezuli Freda is pink, Ezuli Donto is blue, Dambala is white, Agwe is blue. Each spirit has energy that it resonates to. It's the same way with those who transition to the other side. Now, when it comes down to finding out what they resonate to, this is something that is in spirit. It's not something where you pick up a book, not to say that books cannot offer valuable information, but when it comes to dealing with spirit, this is something that has to come to you via spiritual inspiration. Some may call it visions, some may call it clairsentient, clairsentient revelations. But it is something that you intuit from spirit. It's like the tarot card reader and a spiritual tarot card reader. The tarot card reader, let's just say, the one that's not spiritual is the person that goes to the library or just buys a book from a gemstone store, a spiritual store, and they start reading it, and it defines to them what each card means. Where per se, the spiritual tarot card reader doesn't need to look at the cards. All they need to do is shuffle the cards, hand you the cards, you shuffle it, they take the cards back, they lay it down, and they just put their hands on it, and they start reading. They don't even look at the cards because they're reading the energy pattern. They're not reading what they read from a book. And this is how it is in spirit. This is not just, words that's coming out your mouth. Spiritual communication is an internal communication. And it is through this, via the spirit, puts his knowledge into you. Now, when you don't have this awakening, some people say their crown chakra. If your crown chakra is not, I know it may sound, some people may not like me saying this, but I'm using it for those that use this language. Some would say that if your crown chakra is not open, or your Anji chakra is not open, you can't receive this message. You can't receive this divine inspiration. And this is usually a level where when people begin to get in the spiritual realm of communication with spirit, they all know that this is something that is beyond words. And when you're communicating, be it someone who passed on, or whether it's a saint or an angel, loi, the faculty of spirit communication has to be open in you, because rationalizations can only go so far. Yeah, you may find someone that may say, oh, this mixed with that, this is what that spirit needs. True. But what if it's not true? What happens when you do not serve the spirit correctly? We find examples of this in the Old Testament part of the Bible. No, I'm not a religious fundamentalist, but I will say that there are certain realities of the Old Testament that is true. And it gives us an understanding of when you're working with spirits, how they can react. As a voodooisant, a Haitian voodooisant, we have problems all the time in the voodoo community where a person who is not experienced chooses to get involved in this, and they end up getting hurt. It is something that is spoken of all the time in Haiti, where people do rituals wrong, and next thing you know, you start seeing family members dropping like flies. This family member dies, that family member dies, that family member dies. I remember there was a lady, I told her with this altar that I made for her a long time ago, this is before YouTube whatsoever, I told this lady, do not neglect this spirit here. She had to serve the spirit X amount of days whatsoever, and she chose to neglect the spirit and not feed the spirit. Don't you know she was in the car with her friend, her friend broke both legs, her head went through her windshield, basically she had glass all in her forehead? All because she didn't follow the rules or the regulations, or what we call li pat respecter principe. She didn't respect the principles. In this act of creating a spiritual altar, you have to understand, once you open that door, it becomes hard to close, because now you may summon a spirit and it dwells where you dwell, but now it becomes a situation where if you do not manage what you've got going on, they can try to hurt you, or they can try to hurt your children. It all depends on what type of spirit you summoned. When you're dealing with an ancestor, I don't care if it was your brother, I don't care if it was your sister, you got to understand they're on the other side and they need for you to help them over here. And when you don't feed them or you don't give them what they need, they start to react and they throw temper tantrum because they're in pain. You finish hyping them up, and now they're feeling great, because now when you're in this, when you're already into this, you know, as a spirit, as a experienced babalao, if you are that, you know, a spirit, an experienced yaya, or a palero, or a voodooisant, you know that when you don't feed your spirits or you make those sacrifices, you begin to feel the pain of the spirit. So it's the same thing with making ancestral altars. There's a lot of things that you don't hear about, but you only hear the good things about making spiritual altars. Such, oh yeah, you know, the ancestors and this and that, but they don't talk about the responsibilities and the consequences. And this is what I was trying to convey in my last video, but I believe it was my presentation which threw people off. So when dealing with spiritual altars, it's great because there are benefits. Prosperous life, you know, prosperous love life. To be specific, blessings financially. There's a lot of great things that come with creating ancestral altars. But there's also bad things that come with it, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you don't follow protocol. To create an ancestral altar and to be consistent with utilizing it, you have to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, then there's going to be of forcefulness from the spirit that will command you to continue, because certain spirits can turn around and start pimping you, or they can start extorting you, where if you do not give them what they want, they start hurting people around you, or they'll try to hurt you as well. Not every ancestor is a saint. I've seen certain spirits turn around and hurt the person or hurt the children of people that serve them. And they'll tell you this all the time. When you serve Ezeli Dontor, you better make sure you serve Ezeli Dontor correctly. Faut pas négliger. You know what I'm saying? You listen to Azor music. If you listen to Azor music, they tell you all the time, you can't be negligent with serving Ezeli Dontor. The reality is, which is unspoken, is that Ezeli Dontor can kill your kids. She can bless you with children, but if you disrespect and violate the protocol, she can kill your kids. See, a lot of people want to enter into this, but they don't want to hear the opposite side. So, with that said, I hope this video's delivery was much better than my previous video. And I want to thank you guys who tuned in and supported this video, watched this video, and shared this video. And if you have not, please do so. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.